Good morning, welcome back to all the craziness. We are here, day 5 of the Rewire. So you might have noticed day 4 is missing, and the reason is it just all chaos broke loose yesterday. We were pushing it so hard to be able to get on top of this that I just didn't have time to film. I was running around like a headless chicken. You might have seen I had a bit of a crazy day because of the Tesla battery running out. So check out that video link somewhere up here if you want to see that. But unfortunately I didn't get to film yesterday, but the guys got a lot done. So pretty much all the cabling is in, everything's kind of nearly ready for second fix. In fact, most of the rooms are ready for second fix now, which is good. But it's Friday, the customer's moving back in tomorrow, which is Saturday, about lunchtime. And it's only me, Corey and Oscar here today because the other guys have got other stuff that they've got to do. So I've called my friend James to see if he can come and help. I'm hoping that he'll come and help us this afternoon. Second fix is kind of the easy part, you know, all the donkey work is the hard part, like, you know, chasing, getting the cables in, get your floorboards up, drilling all the holes in the joists to run the cables, pulling in the cables. That's the hard part. When it comes to second fix, it's kind of easy, but it's just a case of methodically going through it. So I'm here early, I'm just kind of getting prepped and getting my head around everything ready for when Oscar and Corey turn up so that we can just jump straight in and crack on with things. And my goal really today is just, if we can get a few of the rooms completely ready, second fixed, power on, then at least the customer, when they move in tomorrow, they've got power, they can get their bedrooms set up or whatever, the most important rooms, and then we can potentially come back next week for one more day just to finish second fix and do the final testing and certificate and everything. So that's the goal for today, but as always, you just never quite know if there's going to be a spanner thrown into the works. So we'll see how we get on, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a long day today. So let me show you around, I'll show you where we are now, and I'm going to try and film a few little things because this has been a brilliant project for training Oscar. So for example, the last couple of days we've just been training him on how to do chasing, how to fix the back boxes, how to put the cables in the capping, grommets, you know, all the little things that as seasoned electricians we take it for granted, but for an apprentice these are like really important lessons that you've got to teach methodically, step by step, how to do it. And he's really getting on well, you know, he's learning fast. He's a smart kid, you know, he's picking things up quickly, which is really nice. So yesterday he was a massive help just going around and prepping everything for Dan to come behind. So Oscar was prepping all the boxes, drilling the holes, cutting the capping to the right length and everything, and it made it super quick then for Dan to come behind him, slide the capping onto the cables, fix the boxes back finally and have everything ready for second fix. So it's been really good. Having an apprentice is great, I would recommend it actually. It's a little bit more pressure because you've got to spend a bit of time teaching someone, but it's a nice experience. And when you have taught them, you know, just like teaching them one simple task that they can repeat over and over again and get comfortable with, get experienced with, that is a massive help then. Because next time it needs doing, you can say, do you remember what you did last time? Do that again. So it's really cool. So hopefully we're going to teach him some second fixing stuff today, like maybe how to connect a double socket, how to connect a pendant light, and if we get time and chance we'll try and film some of it. But if not, we will have future apprentice content coming up for sure, because I know a lot of you are learners and you are maybe an apprentice or you want to get an apprenticeship, and I know that a lot of you have sent me messages asking if we could do some kind of content like that, so hopefully we'll get that done for you. As always, if you do enjoy our videos, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, it really helps. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, it's free, helps the channel to grow, and if you tap that notification bell, what happens is every time we post a new video you get this little thing pops up saying Artisan Electrics has posted a new video, and you can be one of the first to watch our new videos, which you do try to post 3 times a week. So we'll keep you up to date with all the latest things from Artisan Electrics. And let me get into it now and I will give you a tour. Right guys, so it is 9:45. I've not filmed anything today since that first intro that I sent you. Sorry, but this job has been a nightmare and it's kind of beaten me now. So everyone's gone, I'm here on my own. all the guys finished at 5 because they had to get home. It's Friday night, you know, I can't expect them to work late. And they had various things to do, otherwise they would have probably stayed with me. So I went home, had dinner, came back. My wife Lisa, she's been amazing. She's come and she's literally cleaned the whole house for me, which is brilliant because there was dust everywhere. She's gone over everything with like bleach and stuff. You know, cleaned the toilets, cleaned the door handles, everything. It smells amazing, this place. But I'll run you around and show you where we are, but we've still got a fair way to go. So I've got to do the DB. Basically tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, the customer's moving back in. Tonight is their last night staying in the Airbnb. And it's just been a marathon, this job. It just never seems to end for some reason. We're getting there now, but I've not started the DB really. It's mounted on the wall, the consumer unit, but I need to start just connecting circuits in now, because basically tonight I need to liven up a couple of the rooms at least, so that they've got some power in the house ready for when they move back in. And then on Monday we'll come back and we'll just finish off doing the second fix. It's probably about 2/3 second fix now, but I'll give you a little tour round and then I've just got to crack on. So sorry that this video series didn't work out as good as I wanted it to. It's just been too hectic to be able to film really. The lesson I've learned from this is never try to do a rewire in a week. It's just not realistic. Definitely I would allow 2 weeks for this next time, and just have a little bit less time pressure. And you know, I mean, the result is great. We've done a really nice job, but it's taken a lot of man hours. I mean, we've had like up to 4 or 5 guys a day on site, and in my brain that's like, how have we not done it in a week? But it is what it is. It just goes like that sometimes. 5-bedroom house. It's not, you know, it's not that small, and we've been doing things to the detail as we always do, so it takes a bit longer. Good morning. Greetings from Bedhead, Jordan. Yes, I know I have an uncontrollable bedhead, and yes, I am beyond the point of caring anymore. Let me talk to you about what happened last night. So, the last clip that you've just seen was probably me saying, it's 10 o'clock something, I'm going to carry on until I'm done, and then I'll show you around. Well, after that, things continued to spiral in a downwards motion until I was driven to the point of near insanity. So I carried on. My wife was amazing. She helped me clean up and stuff. After I did that clip, I carried on second fixing. I got a lot of second fixing done. And then about 11:30, I started fitting the consumer unit. And it took me 3 hours to kind of get the consumer unit pretty much done. So by the time I finished, it was 2:30 a.m. And by this point, I'd been working since 7 a.m. So it was like an 18-hour day, maybe more. This is the day after, so I've had 6 hours sleep. I went to bed at 3 a.m, got up at 9. So I'm a bit tired and fuzzy-headed. That's why this video is a bit random. But unfortunately, I was just so tired that I couldn't even move myself to just run around with the camera. It was dark. I had to pack up all the site lights. All my battery torches had all died. And so I'm sorry I didn't get to show you around. In the end, it was just one of those jobs where every single point it just went wrong and took longer than we expected. So I want to talk to you about some of the lessons that I've learned from that job really. In terms of the result, we're not finished yet, but we're going to go back on Monday and do the final part of the second fix and then final connections on the DB and testing. I think it'll take more than just Monday. I think we'll probably need to be back there on Tuesday as well. And today, so last night I basically got it to the point that the customer wanted where they could move back in, which was the house was clean, the lighting in the girls' bedrooms was on, the power sockets were on in various rooms, so they had a bit of power, the heating was powered on, right? Those were kind of the main criteria for the customer to be able to move back in. And they got everything to that point. I ran the heating for an hour just to make sure it was working okay, hot water. That's all seemed to be fine. So I felt good from the point of view of I was really looking after my customer. I went beyond the call of duty to get stuff ready for them to move back in just in time. So Saturday morning, that's this morning, came and I had to go to the hire place to drop the site lights back and the chasing machine and the vacuum. So I thought on my way home, I'll just swing by and just check to see if the customer's okay, if they're happy with everything, if they've got any issues at all, because I didn't want them to be uncomfortable. They're just moving back into their new home. I wanted to make sure that they were settled okay and that everything was fine. So I knocked on the door and a customer came to the door and I said, hey, just checking in, making sure you guys are okay. Is everything all right? And he was like, well, it was. And then we noticed some water trickling through the ceiling. And I was like, at this point, my heart just sank and I was like, what on earth is going on? So he said, come upstairs and I'll show you what's going on. So I went upstairs and we'd put all the carpets back down just roughly, but he'd taken the carpet up again in the bedroom and the hallway and taken a couple of floorboards up, and there was water pooling on top of the floorboards. Not on top of the floorboards, on top of the plasterboard ceiling, and it started to trickle through into the living room. It wasn't a huge amount of water, but it was some warm water. And I was like, it looks like we've screwed through a pipe or something when we've been putting the boards back. That's the obvious conclusion to come to. So the weird thing was that it was Thursday night that we'd actually put the boards back. All day Friday we hadn't put any boards back because all the wiring was in by then and we were just doing second fixing and bits and pieces. So I was a little bit puzzled as to why we hadn't noticed on Friday that there was a little bit of water leaking. But anyway, we traced it and we took up a few more floorboards, and there was one floorboard in the corridor in the hallway with one screw. I unscrewed the screw and suddenly water just started spraying everywhere. So the customer ran downstairs, turned the main water stopcock off, and bullseye, I'll show you a picture. On Thursday, in the midst of all the rush to get everything back together, one of the guys had screwed right through a 22mm copper heating pipe, literally bang in the middle. Like, you couldn't center it better if you tried. And obviously the screw had kind of semi-blocked the hole in the pipe, so it was only trickling out. And we hadn't had the heating running as well, apart from the hour last night that I got it running. So presumably there was no flow going around that heating circuit. And only when they turned the heating on properly did the leaks start to properly appear. So there was good news, which was that as soon as you turn the heating system off, the pipe stopped leaking. So we were able to turn the water back on, but just stop the heating, and there was no leak. And fortunately, the pipes were on top of the joist. Now this place, the heating system has been done. It's an absolute disaster. There's pipes everywhere, and they've been running really weird routes on top of the joists. So they've just notched deep into the joists, but they've put the floorboards bang on top. There's no gap. They're like, the floorboards and the pipes are butting right up to each other. And there were so many pipes that, okay, he shouldn't have screwed through it, but it's easily done. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. So I'm not really annoyed about it. It's just frustrating. It was just like another thing. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back today, really. I'm just exhausted. But this is life as running your own electrical business. You get days and weeks like this, you know. It's not all like, you know, I know that a lot of the time on the channel I'm like super positive. I love my job. It's exciting, it's fun, there's always new stuff, but there are some weeks when it's just a nightmare and you feel like just giving up. You feel like I just want to quit and all this and just get a stupid job somewhere where I don't need to think. But that's it. It's just like that sometimes. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of the reality of some of the nightmares that we have on jobs like these. And that's life. The ups and the downs, you've got to take them all. Take the good with the bad. So I called a friend of mine who's a plumber, and he really kindly said that he'll come out and fix the pipe. So I'm hoping that any moment now he's there, and it should be quite an easy fix. It's just a case of cutting both sides of the bad part and then putting in a new piece. It's quite easy to access, so hopefully it'll be a quick, easy job for him. And obviously I'm going to pay for that out of my own pocket because it's our fault. So I told the customer that, I reassured them, we'll get it sorted out, I'll pay for it, no problem. Customer was amazing, they were fine. You know, it's like the most chilled customer ever, so that's really good at least. Because if they were a bit like stressy, it would have been a bit of a disaster. So what have I learned from this whole week? Well, what I've learned is trying to do a rewire in a week is just a bad idea. Don't do it. Don't always allow more time than you think you need, because I have a problem, and this is a problem that keeps rearing its ugly head in my life, is that I'm overconfident sometimes. I think that we can do things faster than we actually can, and I tend to underestimate how long things are going to take. And maybe it's because in my brain I think, right, if I was doing this job, how long would it take? And then I think, okay, so if it would take me 10 days, for example, that's how I price this rewire, is for 10 days of my labour. If it would take me 10 days, I figure, okay, so we'll do 2 guys for 5 days and that'll be fine. We'll smash it out, it'll be easy. But realistically, this job has taken so far 13 man days, and actually by the time we finish, it's probably going to be more like 15 or 16 man days, plus the crazy overnight shift that I did last night, which is not even counted in it. So in the end, this job we've probably only just broken even on, because I've underestimated the amount of time that it would take. And obviously I'm going to honour the original price that I've given to the customer. I always do that. I give a fixed price quotation. This is how much you'll pay. This is the result you'll get. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. More often than not, we win on them, we do them fine. But for a rewire, it's a lot of work. I mean, this one was more than just the basic rewire as well, because we had smoke alarms in every room. We had various other bits and pieces like putting a circuit in for an EV charger. So we had to run in armoured cable under the floorboards and stuff. There was loads of extra little bits and pieces and a few complications along the way. And so it took longer than I would have estimated. So my lesson is, especially when quoting for rewires, always allow 2 weeks. Don't put any time pressure on yourself when it's not necessary. So for this customer, the fact that they were out for a week, I think next time I would just ask them to leave for 2 weeks, and that would give us the extra time, and that would have saved me a lot of hassle, because with this one I kept having to jump in and help, whereas at the moment I'm mostly having to be in the office just organising and running stuff, because as soon as I get on site everything falls apart in the office, because I need to be there handling inquiries, doing quotes in order to keep the work flowing in. So there's a bit of a balancing act going on at the moment, and I had to be on site with my boots on the ground for a couple of days on this one just to help get things done. And it kind of meant that all the other stuff has fallen behind schedule a little bit now. So that's a bit of a shame. But it is what it is. We've got it done. The result's going to be great. The consumer unit is going to look beautiful. We've done some nice boxing to hide our cables. We've done loads of great stuff on this job, and it is a nice result. But it was a painful week, and I don't want to ever repeat this week again. So I'm going to try to learn from it. I hope that maybe you've learned something from this video too. If you have, hit a thumbs up just to show your appreciation for my craziness. And if you haven't subscribed, do so. It's free, and you get regular video updates from us. There is a lot of stuff going on at the moment, and if you'd like to be a fly on the wall in the life of an electrician, well, this is the place to be. So join the artisan movement, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.